welcoming you. It's always great to share some ideas with you, and I certainly hope you enjoy them. I appreciate the feedback, so thank you for all the questions as well as some of the comments, most of the comments, in fact. So let's get started with today's 3 at 3, shall we? This is presented by me. It is the 29th of December 2020, and the disclaimer is, as usual, that this is for educational and informational purposes only. All investments involve risk. Full stop. Also, we do have intellectual property rights on what you're about to see. Before you reproduce it in any manner, please ask us. We'll be happy to grant you that permission as long as you ask and you cite Market Rebellion. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at one from yesterday, Facebook. Now, this was also a question of sorts because one of you was nice enough to send me a question and said, hey, John, why do you talk about some of these that have already run? So, for instance, yesterday with the stock under 266, they were buying December 275 calls that expired this Thursday, 2 days hence. So yesterday they had 3 days. Well, why did I talk about it? Because it was large. Did I try to lure some of you in because it had already run? No. We are still in the trades that I'm talking about on this show, but I just thought I'd show you one of the reasons why we talk about them, because the run wasn't done. Yeah, you could have been in, if you're a subscriber, you could have been in for 50 cents or 75 cents to these December 275 calls. Well, today it went to 280. Yesterday it closed at 277. When I was doing this particular 3 at 3, I think it was right around that 275 level. So that's why, because we don't know when these things are going to end. And you could still buy those 275s and sell something against it. As I told you, I didn't buy the 275s because they were too far out of the money. I instead bought either the 268s, I can't remember, or the 270s, and sold the 275s against it. So imagine that I am cheering, but not as happy as those of you who bought the calls yesterday just naked, because you have a huge winner today. Took those calls from that 275 up to 280. Meanwhile, I have that $5 spread. I don't have the right to take it at 270. Gave somebody else the right to take it from me at 275. You get the idea. It all works out. That's why we show you guys how these things really play out. And again, if it's a profit, if I'm doubling my money, I take off half, and then I snug up a stop underneath it. If it's a loser and I lose half, I cut the loss and move on to the next trade. That's the way I trade it. I thought I'd point this out because early in the day when the market hit the new highs, we noted both that put spread at the January 288, 272.50, which is about 12,000 to 13,000 lot spread that traded like that. And then just moments later, somebody did a 50,000 lot trade, but look, out in April. So they put on the 283, 265 put spread. That, my friends, is an 18-point put spread, the differential between 283, where they have the right to sell it, and 265, where they gave somebody else the right to put shares to them. So that differential is $18. They paid approximately $3 for that. So something that could go to 6x from $3 to $18, yeah, I'm interested. And I wanted to point it out, and CNBC, I sent it to Jason Gewirtz, the head of news over there, as well as our team over at the Halftime Report. They were Johnny on the spot, or Jane on the spot, however you want to look at it. And somebody reached out, got a hold of Tom Pettifree. Tom Pettifree over at Interactive Brokers said, yeah, first time in a long time we've seen our people go net short the market. So there's a lot of hedging going on right now. Some people are outright betting that the market goes lower. We'll have to see how that plays out. You know, if you've been watching me, how I feel. Bullish overall on the market for 2021, but don't think that it's always as easy as some people say, oh, the easy money's been made. I'm saying I think it's tougher to make money in any market, and following the smart money helps me figure out where the smart ladies and men are putting their bets down. That's why I like to follow them. If you'd like to learn more, you can go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. We can teach you about cryptocurrency. We can teach you about stocks. We can teach you about options and futures, all at marketrebellion.com/get started. Something you should think about, getting started. All right, halftime report. I'm out there with my buddy Scott Wapner, the judge, and there I am running some heat seeker algorithms behind me up in the office. We're talking about unusual option activity, right? So let's get to it. First one today was Alibaba. And as you saw, the stock moved from 232 when we first cited it on our blog to 236. That's $4. That's noteworthy in and of itself. But we said maybe Jack Ma gets some sort of come to Jesus moment with the overlords in China and decides, okay, I'm going to play ball. Stock's down $100 from the recent highs, traded from 319 to 219. And then as it makes its way back, it's making a nice move today. We're riding that move. Bang! And that's what you heard me talk about on the halftime report. They were buying the D's 235 calls that were $3 out of the money when we first talked about them. And there is where the stock has run to since we noted that activity. It's up to 237.42. Not the high of the day, but it's moved up nicely. And I've already taken some profits. So if you'd like to learn more about those one-to-one spreads, you know where to go, marketrebellion.com/get started. All right, let's get to, need to remind you that some of you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube and you type Market Rebellion. You can see our YouTube channel. It is free. There is no subscription, no cost. And for that, you can see Pete doing the take. He has done 245 of those episodes. You can watch it live, or you can, if it's not convenient for you to watch it live, check it out on our YouTube channel, which again is free. You just need to subscribe, and then every day you'll see what's going on. You can see the 3 at 3, also live or recorded and posted up to our YouTube channel. So subscribe, tell a friend about it. We appreciate it. Let's get to Rocket, the Rocket companies, Rocket Mortgage and all that. We noted for you on the halftime report, as I noted for our subscribers, that somebody bought 4,000 of the Jan 2050 calls for 77 to 90 cents. Since every option is 400 shares, that means $77 to $90 for each and every one of those that they purchased. So if they purchased 4,000 of them and paid $90 for each one, you get the idea. They're putting about 400 grand down, bang, onto that trade. I like following big money when these guys put down a big trade like that, whether it's Kathy Wood over at ARK or whether it's some other smart trader jumping into Rocket. I like to follow them. So that's what I did, talked about it, made it my final trade, and I guess that big jump you see on the screen there is when I talked about it, because it jumped from $20.10 on up a full dollar higher than where I talked about it on the halftime report, leading into that as my final trade. So, miss a little, miss a lot, I guess, but it's still, I think, a good trade. It's now trading $20.73, so these 2050 calls are now 23 cents in the money. Bang. Let's get to Pitney Bowes, another one that we talked about and it worked out. Here's the February 5 calls. We noted it for 4,000 contracts trading early on. Then we said more is trading, more is trading. They're buying these calls out in February at the 5 strike. There is what we posted. 10,000 of these calls trading for 85 cents. 10,000 times $85, you get the idea, $850,000 trade. I like to be on that trade. I want to be with those folks who are putting down a bet like that. So that's where I am. I'm in those calls. Stock was $5.33. Let's see. Survey says $6.21. And look at that, traded up to $6.50. That would mean that the 5 calls went at one time $1.50 in the money today from that unusual option activity. That's why you trade, folks, because with options you get that quick hit and you can quantify your risk when you enter. So if you put down 85 cents and turn it into $1.50, probably you turned it into more like $2. I applaud you. Well done. I'm happy to be in this trade, and I hope you enjoyed the ride too. Crypto Rebels, yeah. If you'd like to get our app for your iPhone, you can get it over at the Apple App Store. It is Market Rebellion. You just go to the App Store, type Market Rebellion. We're 5-star rated now over at the App Store. I encourage you to get it because you can set up watch lists. You can set up the chats that we have. You can have charting, all of that on your iPhone just by going over to the App Store and downloading our app, which is, again, Market Rebellion, and you could be a crypto rebel. Questions? Let's get started. BTC, el futuro es hoy viejo. Yeah, you're right, Jose, because I had tweeted out Russell Okung becomes the first NFL player to be paid in Bitcoin. Now, technically, he is still paid in dollars, but half of his check immediately goes to Zap, which converts it into Bitcoin, which Russell can do whatever he wants with. I think he's a smart player. I know that there are Major League Baseball players, NBA players, and so forth that are doing this right now. I imagine a lot of players in various leagues will take some of their earnings and put it into Bitcoin. I think they're smart to do so. And I just point out again that when Charlie Munger said, yeah, Bitcoin, it's a turd, it's got no use. Well, it's up 600% versus the time that Charlie Munger said that. That was May 7th, 2018. And pull up a chart and see how Berkshire has done over that same period. I'm not saying you should have all your money in Bitcoin. I'm not saying you should have as much as I do, which is close to 10% of my net worth in Bitcoin, along with Voyager, along with Homeros, along with TNC, along with PLF, along with Ethereum. I've got a bunch of digital assets. I like them. I think those of you who have heckled me for it are probably looking back now saying, God, I wish I would have listened to Doc and bought some of that. But everybody has to pull the trigger on their own trades, if you know what I mean. How about this one? Jonathan, which is Jaytovie, Jaytovie, says, do you normally stay in calls longer than you would puts? Every case is unique, and we know fear drops the price of anything faster than confidence ever will. Bang! Jonathan is correct that normally my put trades, I'm in them for a shorter period of time. You have heard Pete say stocks take the stairs up and the elevator down. That's mostly true, although March might be a case where they took the elevator down and they took the elevator up, and the elevator was even higher on the way up. So yes, Jay is correct. I tend to be in calls longer than I am in puts, and when puts score, I generally ring the entire register rather than just part of the register by the very nature of the put, having a limit to how much it can go down or up in value. Round trip, let's see. Stephen, which is SD Harris 501, type of jeans I have on right now, 501 jeans, Levi's. Stephen says, I know you take off half when you have a double, but how do you manage your trade when X goes up 40%, then starts pulling back? Thanks. At any given time, you can take profits, as Stephen, who sounds like an experienced trader, already knows. And 40% ain't nothing to sneeze at. Most people that trade stocks never see 40% because they're never holding it that long. Some people, if they have long-term holdings, like I have in Apple, might hold it long enough to actually have a 40% winner. But I think, Stephen, when I have a double, I do take off half. When it goes up 40% and it starts pulling back, I'd probably exit the trade because, a 40% pops 40% and it's hard to turn down. ARK. Let's talk some ARK. I mentioned her already, Kathy Woods. How about this? Wood it actually is, not Woods. Sorry, Kathy. Cathie. Hi, John. What do you think about ARK? Are you still bullish on it? By the way, you guys are killing it. Thank you. Thank you for that. And his handle is Salem _ USAMA or Salem _ USAMA. What do I think about ARK? I think Kathy is one of the brightest investors of a generation. I think she is killing it. You mentioned that we're killing it, and I thank you for that. Kathy is killing it also. I would buy this thing on significant dips. If this is enough of a dip for you, great. I was looking to see whether or not we get a shot to buy it sub 120, maybe between 115 and 120. This is her innovation ETF that he's talking about, guys. And I think if you get a chance to get one of the best managers in the space to get you in for some of the best stocks, having her do that and having her do it at a cheaper price rather than buying it at 137 or 140, getting it at 115, I like it. And she is a hot manager, so there'll be money chasing in. Space, the final frontier. Brian says, and he is at RELLIN, like Nashville, B like boy. Brian asks, Space, been quiet. Maybe news on rescheduled flight in January. Move the price back up? And he's got a bunch of rockets on there. Yes, sir. If indeed we get that rescheduled flight in January, because as you know, they weren't able to get the flight up, and that's one of the reasons that the stock fell so dramatically. I do think that helps the stock, and I will be watching for that unusual activity in there. Great call by you, Brian. Next, Scott McKenna, almost said McKenzie. Scott McKenna, and his handle is Buzzboy3, asks and says, appreciate your knowledge, enjoy your work, thanks for sharing. Net, which is Cloudflare, NETE, had UOA for 90 at 90 in December. Think we see a late push into the year end? Yeah, I think we could. I think Cloudflare is a great stock. I love Net, and I would be a spreader, one-to-one call spreader in there right now. Thank you. Justin Cooper, who is Mr. Justin Cooper, says, John, I learned so much from this 3 at 3 Market Rebels. And I said, did you miss today's 3 at 3 live stream? We had some unusual activity in Disney, Takata, Facebook. Learn more at UOA Market Rebels. Thank you for that, Justin. Thank all of you whenever you are sending us something to either thank us or something that makes this better, a better, more productive show for you, because we all know that if you guys are enjoying it, you're going to be watching longer and watching more, and that'll help our business as well as hopefully help you guys become better investors. So I appreciate that, Justin. Thank you. Last one, Jerwal Kerwin, which is Dr. JERALKIRWAN, that's his Twitter handle, says, how about those Baba calls, Doc? Bang! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, those Baba calls working like a charm. Thank you, Joel. Much appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you continue to tell your friends about it. I hope those of you who haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel go over to YouTube and click Market Rebellions into the search bar and find us. And if you'd like to learn more about unusual option activity, well, go to marketrebellion.com/UOA. You can see all about it. We would love to have you be a subscriber to Unusual Option Activity Elite, where you get multiple trades per day. Unusual Option Activity, where you get one trade a day, where you get one trade a week, or Pete's Cash Flow Portfolio. We've got so many ways to help you be a better investor/trader. You just got to decide what fits your lifestyle and what's best for you. You can learn all about it at Market Rebellion. Encourage you to do that. Thank you for joining me here today, folks. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow back here for 3 at 3. Thank you.